Atem Ebako. Let's come back to the some few facts pointed by Kedia Robert Malanthe. He talked about the issue of separation in Nigeria, that the issue of separation, which he based his mind that it is on cultural inclination, that culture has a great role to play as far as separation is concerned. And he talked about the issue of Nigeria and also brought in some few examples in European states. You are a Pan-Africanist. Is it fair to say that it is culture that separates people more than economy, in Kedia's words?
Well, let me not really make it a debate, but let me make it look more of an educative insight. You see, when you look at when the colonialists were in Africa, way back when we had the Berlin Conference in 1884, 1885, that was made up of, or it was consisted of, all the Western nations that took place in that meeting. And when you look at the people who were involved in that meeting and the people who are the veto members today at the level of the UN National Security Council, they do not speak the same language. So it is not language that binds people. It is objectives and goals that brings people together. So which means that we may have even 300 different cultures. Rather, it's a beauty. It is not a cause for division. Because it is not, unity is not based on your different ethnicities or cultural differences. It is based on one's objective. What are the goals put on the table? And that is why you realize that I gave the example that a French citizen was arrested in Central Africa. It was a Russian that came to defend him. How do you explain the relationship between Russia and France? It's only because they have a common objective which is not tied at the level of culture or language.
The economic interest.
Is the economic interest. So what we are talking here in Nigeria is that if the economy was better and it improved the lives of its citizens, and the citizens had right over their own resources. That is why the leaders are elected, to represent the people so that the resources are shared at the level of their national interest, so that people can find their own future in their own country. Now, in the absence of that, it gives room for poverty. It is difficult and quite challenging to find a poor man who knows he can be rich, and yet is being prevented by leadership, bad leadership. And that is why I was saying that when we live under this kind of climate, you cannot expect security to be the hike of the day. You only have insecurity. The agitations of the bandits, so-called them, whatever we want to call them, I don't want to go
identify gunmen, bandits.
Very well. Now there's a lot about these individuals. There's more behind what we are just talking about. But one of the things which is very obvious among all of them is that there are people who are fed up with the system. The systems have not been able to meet their demands. I remember the last adoption, in the other adoption of the 316 girls in Zamfara. It was this last year or
December.
December. One of the girls asked those rebels, "Why are you doing this?" They said their problem is with the state. The state promised them this, the state made them this promise, and they were unable to do. It's just like you have a leader who gets into power, gives his people the hope.
Are you saying that when President Buhari, because if we look at this, is mostly typical in the northern side of the country, are you saying that if their problem is the state, are you saying that during a ballot period, the insecurity was there, but it was not as massive as this, and Buhari promised them that, when I take over, we'll handle these people to take a rest, and when he came, he could not meet up with these, and they just have to pay him back?
That is what I'm saying, that when you have kept people down in a particular condition for a long period, at one point, when they are pushed to the wall, they cannot take it anymore. It was clear, we know with all our other politicians that we have today, even for example in Cameroon, how many promises have we been made concerning certain road construction that have not been done. So at one point, when people have been pushed to the wall and they are left with no other option, they rebel. And this gives room for the West to keep using how will I call it, distorted and angry citizens, and then arm them with ammunition. to start fighting against their government. The West doesn't care here. As long as the locals are fighting, the meat becomes easy for the vulture. It was the same Buhari who was calling for the United States to help them quell down the insecurity in Nigeria. It is this same Buhari who a few days ago, about 2 weeks ago, was traveled to UK for bad health condition, leaving his country under a poor working condition where the doctors were protesting in Nigeria for low salary payment and poor working condition. Going to UK where you have about 7,400 and something Nigerian doctors practicing in UK. Buhari is taking a plane at his age
Nigerians there
to go to Nigeria. That is what we are saying, that you see, we don't have problem with these old people, but my only worry here is that they must not be ahead in order to lead.
Okay.
They must not be presidents in order to be the one giving the ideas. Okay. Because when a man has become physically weak, mentally the man has lost his vision. It's only filled with dreams, and those dreams can only be realized by young, energetic people.
Okay.
Get young people involved, push them ahead, and then guide them from behind so that it becomes dreams, vision, and reality. But when you have old people who are unable to even run 20 meters, they start breathing as if they are going to die, you realize that there's a call for concern. We are not against our old people. It's just that the way politics today in Africa has been, presidential seat today has only become, if you are not above 60, you may not be qualified.
But the US president is above 60 now.
He is above. He is
no,
78.
it's America. It will be correct.
No.
When it's Africa, it's a problem.
No, I don't want to talk about that, because in America they have a friendly match, what I call a friendly match. Even if you put a dog there, it still works for their interest. It doesn't matter who stands in front. That's why even if a gay, a lesbian enters there, it doesn't matter. But to us, it matters a lot, because we are still considered underdeveloped while they have already built a legacy. So it's just like a moving car that is a pilot auto, where it has auto drive system.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter who is sitting on the steering. That's the way America is. But we are driving manual cars. We need young, energetic people who can take people where we are supposed to go to.